Hello and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported with heart-centered ideas to improve your life. I'm your host, author, heart and self-love enthusiast, Alicia Hartzell. I want to talk with you today about this idea that your desires are making their way to you. Now let's lay a foundation. You are an extension of the divine source energy. Now you can use whatever language feels good to you. Divinity, God, source, an unnamed energy that puts it all into motion. This energy that creates worlds flows through every cell of your being. Your divinity set your humanity into motion to create and to expand and experience life. This gift of life unfolds before you, thought by thought, moment by moment, and feeling by feeling. This makes you a creator by nature. You are a creator of your reality, the author of your story, and the main character that gets to live it all into existence. Your desire is a huge part of this creation process. Your desires set into motion thought and feeling. When you are in alignment with your essential truth and the source within you, these feelings become daydreams, and you get to start to feel as if your desires are making their way and showing up in that moment. All of the energy and momentum created by those thoughts and feelings meets with source energy and offers you inspired thought. That inspired thought leads you into inspired action until the desire becomes a reality that you can see before you. You're designed to receive the very thing that you desire. Now, this creation process and your desires, they aren't just about things. Sure, you can desire something like a new car, a partner, or a job. As you hold those feelings of having them, without focusing on what is in this moment, but rather focusing on what it is to have them, you send a call out for the very thing that you desire, and then it starts to make its way to you. Holding that energy of having right now in this moment is like a beacon so that they can find you. But it's not just about having things. You can desire feeling good or having more joy, feeling better in your mind or body, even wanting to have a better experience throughout your day. You can desire anything, and as long as you give yourself space to really feel what it is to have that desire, then you have created a path for that desire to make its way to you. It's designed to be thrilling and fun and feel like an adventure. But sometimes we forget, or it's been trained out of our thinking, and we get convinced to focus on what is rather than what is possible. When what is less than what you desire, you catch yourself in a painful loop, living this illusion of separation. But it is in fact an illusion, a thought, a fear focused on way too long. Now sometimes those whispers of desires can also get tangled up in what is in the moment, and it leaves you feeling like your life is a mess. Even worse, when we see someone else having what it is we desire, and rather than focusing on the fact that it's possible and that it is meant for you and it's magic that you're seeing it happen in reality, instead, you end up focusing on the idea that because someone else has it, it somehow is no longer meant for you or it won't ever come to you. And there you find yourself once again caught in this illusion of separation. When you do that, your desires can't find you because you started feeling and creating something very different. Now, if you've forgotten your truth, or if you feel like you found yourself feeling separated from your desires, don't worry. There is power and opportunity in every moment of your story. Now, let's see if we can shift your focus back to what's possible, and let's call out a few of these thoughts that might be holding your attention. Everyone else gets what I want, and it feels off limits to me. I feel jealous of what other people have, the kids, the house, the job, the relationship, lifestyle, all those things. My life doesn't feel the way I want it to feel. If I don't have it now, I probably won't ever have it. If they have it, I guess that means I can't have it. Now, none of these thoughts are going to feel good when you think them, because it's never going to feel good to resist or push against your truth. It's important to understand that thoughts like these are very separate from who you are. Oh, sure, I get it. I really do. They may feel super strong and feel very real in the moment, but they do not actually define you, and they are not essential to who you are. Thoughts like these limit your truth and try to make you feel smaller or less than how you were designed to feel and be in your life as you create. It is for this reason that I like to call them out for what they are: limiting beliefs. Now, beliefs are just a repetitive pattern of thinking that creates focus and momentum that leads you forward to wherever you find yourself in your life. Now, it's really important to note that there are also beliefs aligned with your truth. These are the ones that we're going to try to work on building up today. And if you feel them, you're going to feel fortified as you think them. When you reach in and focus on them, they get you feeling enthusiastic about your life. And it feels as if you're plugged right into that source energy where all things are possible and fun and ready to happen. Okay, now, there are many, many ways to pick up limiting beliefs. People who are limited in their own beliefs, they may have tried to hand them down to you. It's very possible. They try to convince you of what your reality should be according to their limitation. It happens more often than you think. And in those moments of uncertainty for ourselves, we pick them up and believe as if they're true. It can also happen when a situation comes into your life with a lot of negative energy behind it. Or if you find yourself in a negative, repetitive experience, those limiting beliefs can be super easy to be adopted. Now, no matter how you pick up the limiting beliefs, they are always going to contradict your truth, and they will never feel good as you think them. So, what if you're tired of thinking thoughts that feel bad, and you want to think thoughts that feel better and feel better in your life? Well, get this. It is totally within your power. That's the great thing about belief, because it's simply a thought that you keep thinking over and over and over again. You absolutely have the power to change them. Now, I like to call this process repatterning. And there's endless ways to go about repatterning your thoughts, but it's very important to know, no matter how you do it, it's always going to happen one thought and one feeling at a time. Now, your first job is to notice those negative thoughts that are creeping in, that are causing you discomfort. Notice them. They're an indicator that you're out of alignment with your truth. So call it out so that it no longer can run on repeat in the background of your thinking. As you begin to get conscious about the thought, your next step is to stop believing what it's telling you. That's right. You can stop believing what that thought is telling you. When you do this, it slows down the momentum, the energy, and the emotion that thought's been carrying along with it. You were never meant to believe it anyway. You were meant to use it to feel your way back to your truth and feeling good. Once you have all those limiting beliefs isolated, then you can see them for what they are, and you can start to make room for new ideas to emerge. This is where you get to redirect your thoughts and feel your way back to your truth. So let's say you have a thought that says that everyone else gets what you want and it feels off limits to you. Now, what if you take the limitation off that thought and belief? What might you find then? You might find a thought that says something like, "What I want isn't off limits to me." What if then you took even more limiting language out of that thought? What could you have? You might find a thought that says something more like, "I can have what I want." Then go deeper into the truth, and you might find something like, "My desires are making their way to me." That might remind you that you are a creator by nature and that you are creating your own reality moment by moment, thought by thought, and feeling by feeling. As you keep turning your focus inward towards your truth, you may notice that the limiting beliefs drift into the distance, allowing those thoughts that feel better to flood back into your thoughts. You may be able to reach for thoughts like, I can choose what I focus on. And when I see someone else having what I want, that means it is possible and I'm closer than I think. So keep those thoughts going and build on them one after the other after the other. Really let yourself daydream about it and feel your way into this moment of possibility. Put your mind and your energy there as much as possible. When you activate thoughts aligned with your truth, it helps you create a deeper language for your desire and your truth. It helps you keep your focus on what it is you want and what it is that feels good in your life. This is why it's so valuable not to react or repress or rebel from the limiting beliefs, but rather use them as indicators designed to help you get back to your truth. When you stop taking directions from these thoughts and get curious instead, you allow them to help you build language for your truth and what your heart really wants. And from this place, you're going to find yourself having a very different life experience. Okay, so let's call out some new patterns of thinking aligned with your truth about having. My desires are making their way to me. I am a creator by nature, and I create my reality thought by thought, feeling by feeling, and moment by moment. I choose what I focus on and what is possible. I am designed to receive the things that I desire. When I see someone else having what I want, that means I'm closer than I think. When I focus and daydream about my desires being fully realized, I create a path for them to find me. Thoughts like these feel so much better as you think them, and there's a beautiful sense of freedom that comes with your truth. So get curious about your thoughts and about your feelings. Take a second or third look to make sure they're the ones you really want to be having. And remember, it all changes one thought and one feeling at a time. So now let's call out some tools that will help you stay plugged into this truth as you repattern. Intention setting has two very powerful jobs in your life. The first job is to consciously claim what it is you want. The second job is to act as a check-in for your thoughts. Now, I'm going to give you one that really helps when you're working on repatterning, but I challenge you to come up with one that feels good to you for the moment that you're in now, right? Okay, now I would start your day off with it, and I'd return to it as many times as you need to. So write it out and make sure you put it somewhere that it's easy to get to, maybe on your phone or on your mirror. My intention is to watch my thoughts with compassion and to reach for thoughts that feel better throughout my day. Another thing that really helps as you're working on repatterning these thoughts is giving yourself permission. Self-permission can feel like a door opening that was once closed. It also helps you claim the power to do or not do what it is your heart really wants. Here's one that we use a lot when we're working on repatterning in this kind of scenario. But again, find one that really feels good to you. I give myself permission to believe that what I want is making its way into my life. When I see others having what I want, I give myself permission to look at it and celebrate because it's getting closer and closer to me. Feels pretty good, right? Okay, an additional tool that I really love to use as you're building up those new patterns of thinking is to flood your mind with outside sources of those very thoughts. Because an idle mind is always going to veer you back towards what it knows best. So keep moving it down those new lines of thought and truth that you're working on. So you can do this by listening to podcasts of other people who are focused where it is you want to go. You can watch videos of people who inspire you or who deepen those new thoughts and feelings of truth. You can also watch a movie that evokes those feelings that you're wanting to create within your life. You can write down those truths, those feelings. Write them as many times as you can, and then go back and reread them to yourself, and even read them out loud if you want to. When you write things down, it really helps your brain prioritize what it is you want it to focus and act on. And reading activates your mind in a very similar way, but it sets your imagination into action, which really will help you daydream. So prioritize and set your imagination into action on those truths. You can tell an inner friend too if you want to, because then it gives you someone to celebrate with as all those new patterns of thinking start to unfold into reality before you. Remember, repatterning is all about changing your focus to support those new patterns of thought that you're trying to build up. And it all happens one thought and one feeling at a time. So, watch those thoughts that come in and incrementally continue to choose the ones that feel better. Micro adjustments give you back your power. So watch those thoughts as they come in and incrementally choose ones that feel better. These kinds of micro adjustments give you your power back. And wherever you're finding this video, I'm also going to link some of my previous episodes of Awakening to Your Story TV about this topic that might help you. There's also going to be a realigning and repatterning video or audio that go along with this episode and really work hand in hand. If you enjoy a more hands-on approach to learning, go over to awakeningtoyourstory.com and you can grab a copy of the book, the starter kit, or the handbook. Remember, you are the creator of your reality, and you can achieve the feeling of having those desires now in this moment. So until next time, know that I am holding a place of love for you. Were your desires becoming reality? Well, it's undeniable. For more support, information, and inspiration, join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.